Good evening, everyone. My name's Caroline Stone. I'm the head of the drama department at JCG. I'm here and I'm going to be speaking to you about our drama IGCSE, and it's great to see that we've got quite a lot of people attending this meeting. I'm hoping that everything's going to go according to plan. As with everything technological, and when you're a dramatic person, it doesn't always. So we've just got to hope for the best. And if it all goes a bit wrong, then I do apologise in advance. Miss Sturk is also with us, and she's able to answer your questions as well. But I think what we'll do is we'll save all of the questions and answers to the very end. If you look at the top of your screen, you'll see that there are little sort of bubbles with cues with question marks in. If you have a question, then you have to type it, because you can't speak to me, I don't think, in a Teams live meeting. So you could type your questions and then I'll answer them as we are going along. So I'm going to get started now with my presentation, and hopefully I'll answer everything and you won't need to ask me any questions. So first of all, what's the IGCSE all about? And as you can see here, we've got a student who's going, what is it all about? This is Lily, and she's in our current year 10. What is it all about? Well, first of all, just to explain, it's called IGCSE because it's an international qualification. And across the world, there are students who are studying this course, and I literally mean all over the world. We study it with Cambridge, the Cambridge International. It's a very practical course, and we decided to do this course because we wanted the more practical option for our students, because we figured that most people who do this course do it because they want to do practical work. So in the IGCSE, you will learn to develop your skills, and also you'll learn about a range of different plays in detail. There's a big emphasis on practical work in this IGCSE. 60% in fact is entirely practical. And then there's a written paper which is 40%. That tests your understanding of two different texts, as well as how you analyse the devised theatre that you've completed in your own course. So it's your own work that you're writing about in that section of the written paper. So that's basically an overview. I'll now carry on. Here we've got some girls. They've just left our year 11 actually, and they're working on a scripted piece here. This was from their actual performance. Excuse the skirts that are far too short. Anyhow, these students are working on a play called Girls Like That. It was a great play and very, very enjoyable. What is the practical work all about then? So during this course, you're going to complete 3 formal pieces of assessed practical work. One of these will be a group devised, and the other 2 will be scripted pieces. For the devising, you've got to write working notes to go along with the practical work, because these notes are going to help you for when you revise for the written paper, because you write about this piece in the exam. The 2 scripted pieces are from different plays. You cannot do the same play. One of those pieces will be solo and the other will be a group script. All of the practical work will be recorded and sent to the exam board for video moderation at the end of it all. That's the practical. I'll give you a bit more detail now, because obviously if you need it, look at her, she's so confused. We'll carry on. The practical work for the IGCSE drama, this is how it's marked. As you can see, the devising is out of 50 altogether, 30 for the actual creation of the piece, and 20 for the acting skills. You'll see also that in the scripted work below, there are 2 pieces, and the acting skills are also marked out of 20. But for this particular one, there's 15 marks for what they call understanding repertoire. And that basically means, is the piece that you end up showing, is it suited to the sort of play that you've chosen? So the repertoire of the piece is what they're looking at. Does, you know, if you've chosen a tragedy and it ends up being an absolute laugh a minute, is that appropriate to the repertoire? Of course you wouldn't do it like that, but that's just a silly example. Anyhow, the total marks for practical work, and this is out of 200, is 120, with 50 for the devising and then 35 and 35 for the 2 scripted pieces. Here's some girls, they're working on a practitioner here. They're in our current year 10, these girls. The practitioner is called Stephen Burkoff, and a lot of them now are working on their devised piece at the moment, and their devised piece is going to be, or some of them at least have chosen to use some of the style of Stephen Berkoff in their work. So in terms of the acting assessments, this is what you must do. You must work solo for one of your scripted pieces. And then in terms of group sizes, you could work in pairs or in groups of up to 6 performers for the other 2. The solo piece is compulsory, there's no getting out of it, but I do think it's the one that you'll probably remember the most because it'll be the one that possibly makes you feel the most nervous. But once you've done it, it's like a rite of passage and you've nailed it and it'll be fabulous. So groups of between 2 and 6 for devising. And we've never worked in a group of 2. At the moment, we've got a group of 6 going on. I've got a group of 5 in my group plus a group of 4. It does vary depending on the composition of the group. So that's the practical. And there's one of our students in the past working on her solo piece. The written exam. The written paper in drama is the remaining 40% of the overall mark. You're going to sit this paper in year 11 in the summer. In the exam, you will write a series of short and long answers about scripted extracts and also about your devised piece. Now, these 2 scripted extracts, we don't even get them, in other words, the teachers, none of us get them around the world. No one gets them until the beginning of year 11. They call these extracts the pre-release materials. There are 3 different sections to the written paper. First of all, there's section A, which is 6 short answer questions on the first scripted extract, which appears in the pre-release materials. The second section, you have to answer 2 slightly longer answer questions on the second scripted extract from the pre-release. And then for section C, you have to answer 2 long answer essay questions on the piece that you yourself devised. Now, you're going to be like that. What are you going on about written work? It's not that bad. Section A, 6 short questions on the first pre-release extract. It's compulsory, you have to answer all of them or do your best to. The maximum mark for this section is 30 altogether. Section B is worth 25. There are 3 essay questions on the second of those extracts. You have to do 2. I'm pretty sure it's compulsory for you to do the first one, which is out of 10, but the second one, there are 2 choices and you only do 1 of them. For section C, 2 essay questions on your devised piece. You have to answer both. The first is worth 10 and then the second is worth 15. Total marks 80. So with your 120 for practical, there's your mark out of 200 and your IGCSE drama is finished. There's some more people working in a weird and wacky way in our year 10 GCSE group. They've really enjoyed doing this kind of interesting work, and it's a little bit different to the sorts of stuff that you do in year 9 actually. So it's very, very enjoyable and feels a little bit more maybe grown up. What are you going to get out of this IGCSE drama course? What's in it for me? Perhaps a question that some of you might be asking, especially then. So it's really challenging. It's a little bit time consuming because obviously you will want to rehearse beyond lessons, but nevertheless, all of this kind of group work is extremely enjoyable. You will learn lots of new skills as a performer, and you'll be able to, we hope, shape and craft your performances in a very stylish way. And certainly by the time you get to the end of year 11, your work will be a lot better than it currently is, simply because you will have had so much more experience. Yes, you'll be challenged by the writing, but I think you're going to enjoy the way that we teach it, because even though you are studying scripts, etc., we'll be doing that in a really practical way, because it's drama after all. So with a script, we will go through it in a practical way in our class. Here's some people here. We took our students to Pineapple Studios in London. I'll talk to you about London in a little bit. We do try as often as we can to take you to theatre to also give you workshop experiences. This is one of the ones we did when we went to London last. IGCSE drama will help you to learn that theatre isn't just about acting, but also about the different roles and responsibilities of people who work backstage as well. For your assessment pieces, you will be judged on your acting, but that doesn't mean you can't take responsibility, let's say, for designing the set, creating PowerPoints or other media, and certainly organising a cue sheet full of music. So lots of other responsibilities come into play, and you'll be responsible for them. As you can see here, the three girls that you can see, they are all in our GCSE lot. They're working on the technical aspects of our last school production and having a really good time doing that. So people take an interest, I think, through this GCSE in the wider areas of theatre. You'll be given the chance to be creative, to express yourself in a range of different ways during this GCSE drama course. Here are some students who we have taken to London in the past. Look how expressive they are. They're really expressing themselves. Depending on how things go with the coronavirus, obviously, we are all subject to that at this point in time. We will be attending different plays in local theatres, and we'll also, hopefully, fingers crossed, be offering you the opportunity to come to London with us. We will do that with you in year 11 if we're able to. We're really dying to go to London again, but of course it all is dependent on the way that things are going with the pandemic. Here we have some students who were taken on to a local theatre to see about how to operate lighting and so on, and we help you with all of that in school as well. So for IGCSE, therefore, you're going to learn about how to write about your own work. You'll be guided in how to evaluate theatre in a really positive way, and that includes one another's work. You'll be talking about offering critique of each other's work as well. There's a group of young people who have got involved in our production in the past there for you to see, and some of you might have been involved in that yourself. There we go. In short, we think that the IGCSE drama course is brilliant, and we do encourage you to consider giving it a go, because we think that you will thoroughly enjoy it. So that's my presentation. I will now get rid of that, and now is your chance, if you want to. That was quite short, actually. I think I must have spoken at the speed of light. If you have a question, then please go for it. The screen at the top, it's got the little question bubbles for you to write in if anyone has a question. I'm going to open that at the side. What I might do is I might queue up Miss Stirk now in case she wants to say anything. I'm hoping I can make that work. Oh, hang on. It's really complicated. Hang on, let me just get rid of that completely. Right, let's change this now to Miss. So, well, it's me. I'll change it to Miss instead. Hang on. So, well, this is me just waffling away. Oh, she's there. I'm going to send Miss live now, just in case she has things to say.
Hi, I think Mrs. Stone has covered everything. The GCSE course is brilliant. We have so much fun. We have such a laugh. Everyone who takes the IGCSE with us, they want to be there. So it's quite different to Key Stage 3, where there's maybe some people who by year 9 have decided they don't want to take drama, and therefore the GCSE itself has got quite a different vibe. And we have such fun, and it's really nice in the sense it's smaller classes to maybe what you're used to at the moment. In my current year 10s, I've got 13 in my class, and Mrs. Stone's got 9. And again, similar numbers with our year 11 classes. So we've got kind of between 10 and 14 in those classes. So really small numbers, you become a little bit like a family, and we just have a really good laugh. And you look at different styles, we create some really unique work. And if our results are anything to go by in the past, we do a really great job with you. So definitely consider it. And yeah, thank you very much.
So I'm just myself live again. So something's just binged. You probably heard that. At this point, there are no questions. I don't think. Maybe we've said it all. I'll give it another couple of minutes. But Mrs. Wright, you know, the course is always something that everyone gets quite a lot out of. Even if you're a quieter student and somebody who's a little bit shy, drama is so good for your confidence, if nothing else, and also great for your teamwork skills and for your ability to work with other people. You know, it's invaluable, really. You know, a lot of I always say this in all of my meetings, but a lot of the people who end up becoming senior leadership team girls, they've done drama because they've got the confidence. So that's something for you to think about. Now I know there's a time lag on Teams Live, but I'm thinking that maybe you would have got to the end of the presentation and typed me a question by now if you were going to do so. So I'm just going to assume that all of you understood everything that I was saying. Students who are watching, if there's anything you want to know, you know where we are. We very rarely go home, we're always there. And if you want to, you can come and talk to us tomorrow or in your lesson this week, and we'll give you a little bit more information if there's anything that you didn't quite get. So thanks very much for tuning in, and hopefully we'll get a large group this year with lots and lots of you wanting to take the subject. Thank you very much. Good evening.